Here she is still in her 70s to this day, many, many years later, who reversed cancer using an integrative approach.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode to the Beljanski Cancer Talk Show. In this episode titled Discover Vitality, Why Integrative Medicine is Essential for Cancer Prevention and Recovery, Sylvie and I are honored to welcome a natural health researcher and certified holistic cancer coach, Nathan Crane. He's an award-winning author, inspirational speaker, Amazon #1 bestseller author, and 20 times award-winning documentary filmmaker. He's also the director of Healing Life, president of the Holistic Leadership Council, founder of the Conquering Cancer, and director and producer of the award-winning documentary film, Cancer, the Integrative Perspective. Nathan has been honored with awards such as the Accolade 2020 Outstanding Achievement Humanitarian Award and the California Senate Outstanding Community Service Award for his impactful work in education and empowering through the natural and integrative cancer healing methods. Join us as Nathan uncovers why integrative medicine is not only an alternative, but an essential complement to traditional approaches in the fight against cancer. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us today. Please give the audience an intro of who you are, and let's go into a little bit about integrative medicine. Love to hear more about it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super glad you guys are doing this great talk show. Happy to be here. I am a certified holistic cancer coach through beatcancer.org, independent health researcher, award-winning author, and have been really focused on helping people learn the underlying causes of cancer and what to do about it. How do we prevent cancer and how do we empower our bodies to heal cancer? I've been focused on cancer specifically for more than a decade, but I've been into independent natural health research for about 17 years at this point. My own personal research, as well as using my own body as an experiment, as well as coaching other clients along the way. I have co-founded a company called Conquering Cancer a few years back, and we've reached over 3 million people in the last few years through our documentary series, through our master classes, through our coaching programs, and helping people to learn what is at the root of cancer. Why has cancer exploded over the last 50 plus years? What is actually causing this explosion of cancer? And then what can we do to empower our immune systems to fight against it? Because really our bodies are designed, in my mind, perfectly to fight against cancer. I mean, that's what it does every single day if we have a strong and active and functional immune system. And there's a lot of factors that lead to dysfunctional immune system. There's a lot of factors that lead to cell degradation and cell damage, mitochondrial damage, which leads to the chronic fermentative process we call cancer. And so, I got into cancer specifically because my grandfather, who was diagnosed, I watched him suffer at the hands of conventional medicine, unfortunately, and watched him wither away and die from the chemotherapy and radiation. I really saw that take his life away. And I thought back then, in 2013, there's got to be something I can do about this. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be natural solutions. And so that's what I did. I started interviewing the top integrative oncologists, functional medicine practitioners on the planet, hosting conferences, publishing magazines, creating master classes, interviewing hundreds of these doctors and saying, what are you guys doing to heal cancer patients using natural, functional, and integrative medicine? And why is it working so effectively? And then I went out and started interviewing many of the cancer conquerors, the people who healed stage 4 cancers that were sent home with 3 months left to live, and said, there's nothing else we can do for you. You're chemoed out, you're therapied out, just go home and write your will. We're very sorry. One woman, Elaine Gibson, was told, she had stage 4 cancer, I believe leukemia, and sent her home and said, you're not going to see your grandchildren grow up. I'm sorry, there's not much we can do for you. And here she is still in her 70s to this day, many, many years later, who reversed cancer using an integrative approach. We're going to talk about integrative medicine and why that's so important, why I think integrative medicine is so important. But she's one case study among many of incredible people I've met over the years that have given me so much hope and inspiration. And that's what we do. We share through my work with Conquering Cancer, my work, through my podcast, and then the work we do. I volunteer on the board of directors for the Beljanski Foundation as well. And so the work we do through the foundation of scientific research into, more natural solutions for cancer. And so, so here we are.
And to take a step back for the audience, what exactly is integrative medicine? It sounds fancy. It sounds like like a very fancy word. Like at its core, what is integrative medicine?
So it depends who you ask. If you go to the Mayo Clinic, integrative medicine is a little meditation room in the corner that nobody uses. And I hate to say that, but it's true. A lot of these huge cancer clinics have adopted the term integrative medicine, from my personal opinion, as a marketing term because they know people want integrative, they want more natural solutions. And so more of these big cancer hospitals are recognizing that and creating integrative solutions, but I would say they're probably implementing somewhere between 10 and 30% of what they could actually be implementing, what true integrative clinics and doctors are implementing. And so I actually asked that same question about 8 or 9 years ago, and that led me to creating a feature film, a documentary film that has since won, I think, 20 awards at this point, called Cancer, the Integrative Perspective. And I spent 5 years producing, directing, editing, and filming for this documentary to say, what is the integrative perspective? What is integrative medicine when it comes to treating cancer? And basically, the short of it is, it's the best of all worlds. It's the best of holistic health. It's the best of ancient Eastern medicine. It's the best of naturopathic medicine. It's the best of mind, body, spirit medicine. It's the biopsychosocial model. And it's the best of modern day conventional medicine. So there are some pharmaceuticals today, some pharmaceutical interventions that are quite effective. If you had a grapefruit-sized tumor, in your colon and you couldn't go to the bathroom, like, surgery could save your life. There are conventional medical approaches that can be incredibly beneficial. There are certain drugs that can be really helpful. There is something called low-dose chemotherapy, IPT, insulin potentiated therapy, which is very low-dose, very targeted chemotherapy, which can help target and destroy the tumor while you're also integrating, using the best of diet and lifestyle, nutritional interventions, nutritional therapies, and other technological therapies, pulse electromagnetic frequency therapy, which has tremendous amount of scientific literature behind it, specifically for cancer and for inflammation in the body. We know cancer is a chronic inflammatory disease. So pulse electromagnetic field therapy. There are many different types of modern alternative, complementary and alternative medicine that we can use in conjunction with conventional medicine that can help provide not only the best results for the patient, but really better quality of life. You can target the cancer with chemotherapy and radiation. You could even cut it out. And these are the people in my community. I read their emails every day. They send in their forms to us that share with us their stories. And I'm reading some and interviewing them right now for our upcoming docuseries. And basically, I went in, here's the story, and I hear it, I've probably heard it hundreds of times over the years. I had stage 2 or stage 3 X cancer, any cancer, I've heard every kind. They recommend surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. I did what they said. 2 years later, it came back. It's now in a different location. It's stage 4. It's metastasized. Okay, so if surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation were the solution to completely reverse your cancer, then why does it come back? And why is it at a worse stage as metastasized throughout your body? Now it's in the lymphatic system, it's in the lungs, it's in other organs, right? And so why is that so common among so many people? Today we get confused, we get misled by thinking the survival rate means success rate. And survival rate actually is not success in my opinion at all. Survival rate just means they survive 5 years past their diagnosis date. Now it's wonderful that the person has survived 5 years, but it's misleading because the general public goes, oh, they're a cancer survivor. Whatever treatment they did, right? This treatment has a 70% success cancer survival rate. Someone might hear those terms. And someone might go, oh, great, that means, I got a good chance of beating this cancer. And they go in, they do the therapy, and all of a sudden, not only did the cancer not go away, but it's come back with a vengeance. And maybe they survive 5 years, but now it's metastasized to throughout their entire body, and their quality of life they've completely lost their quality of life. because chemotherapy and radiation destroy your immune system. It makes your hair fall out. It literally damages your cells. It causes more cancer to form in the body. So I'm not against surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation in the appropriate circumstances for the appropriate patient with the appropriate cancer. Testicular cancer, for example, has a pretty high reversal rate. I think like 50% in many cases, versus certain types of colon cancer have a very, very, very low success rate. Other types of cancer have 20%, 30%. Again, depending on who's giving the statistics, oftentimes these are survival rates. They're not even reversal rates or cure rates. There's no oncologist today that can guarantee they can cure your cancer with the methodology they have. And I don't guarantee that to anybody either. And I don't cure anybody of anything. We educate, we inspire, we give evidence-based solutions to say, hey, what caused your cancer? Let's try and figure out what those multiple causes most likely are, and then let's empower your body to heal itself. And so a good integrative practitioner, a good integrative therapist, a good integrative oncologist is going to look at the biopsychosocial approach in medicine, biological, psychological, social, as well as a complete holistic approach, environmental, relational, spiritual. What are you putting in your body? What are you deficient in? What are the toxicities that you have going in your body? What are your nutritional deficiencies? Deficiency and toxicity are two underlying causes of just about every disease we have on the planet, but so is stress, so is our environment. So a good integrative practitioner is going to look at all of that, take a big intake form, ask you a lot of questions, and then try and use the best of all worlds. Traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, nutritional therapies, evidence-based approaches, mental emotional healing practices to help get at the root of the issue and then help empower your body to heal itself. And
you are very involved also into nutrition. You have even created a line for athletes all about vegan nutrition. Can you tell us more about that?
yeah, absolutely. So, my initial focus in the health world was nutrition. Like my initial dive in was healing my own body of the challenges that I was going through. I went through, addiction and poor food behaviors, and I was very sickly as a teenager, and I was not doing well. And so one of the first big eye openers that I had in my life was I did this 5-day cleanse. It was called the Master Cleanse. And I don't recommend anybody go out and just do the Master Cleanse today, but it was good for me at that time. I think I was 20 years old, and I did the Master Cleanse, and it was 5 days of just water, fresh lemons, lemon juice, maple syrup, and cayenne pepper. And that's it. It's all you drink for 5 days straight. No food, no other drinks, no eating, nothing. And I went through that cleanse, and I felt so good at the end of it. And I felt like I was in touch with my body in a new way for the first time ever. And then it really opened my eye to this idea that food impacts the way we feel. It impacts the way we think, because I thought more clearly by the end of that. I felt better. I had more energy. I'm 20 years old. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't learn nutrition in school. I didn't learn nutrition from anybody. It was just that experience. I go, wow, food can really have a drastic impact in how I feel and how I think. So that led me down the rabbit hole of just, insatiable research into nutrition and diets, and which diets are best for cancer and longevity and disease prevention and health and sports and performance. And through that kind of, watching documentaries and reading publications and personal experimentation, that eventually led me personally to a plant-based diet. And so in 2010, when my daughter was born, my wife and I went on a 100% raw vegan diet. And we did that for about a year. And then after that, we stopped the whole raw part, but we stayed on the primarily plant-based part. We've done some eggs over the years. We don't do dairy, we don't do meat. But the reason why I've stayed on primarily a whole food plant-based diet is because as I continued that research, I realized, hey, this seems to be the diet that is most associated with people living the longest, people living the healthiest, people preventing the most diseases. All the people I was interviewing, every single one of them was either on a 100% vegan diet or a primarily whole food plant-based diet when they reversed their cancer. That was one of the pillars of foundations of the diet that they adopted that helped them. And I'm not saying every cancer patient out there has been on that diet. It's just every person that I met for whatever reason and interviewed, I was like, well, what'd you eat? And every one of them, and then all the doctors that I was interviewing, they were putting them on whole foods, mostly plant-based diets or completely plant-based diets and seeing incredible results. So that just continued this personal experience and the research to back it up of staying on a whole food plant-based diet. And so the importance of that, so I've been working mostly with cancer patients, cancer clients over the past decade plus, but I also, and mostly it's people 50 and older. Now younger people are getting diagnosed at higher rates than ever before. There was a study that just recently came out that showed cancer rates have increased over 70% in the past 30 years in people under 50. So we're seeing cancer rates in 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds and 49-year-olds at higher rates than we've ever seen in as long as we've been recording cancer. So it's getting younger and younger, meaning it's not just, you're going to be 60 or 70 or 80 and diagnosed with cancer. If you don't change your diet and lifestyle now at a younger age, it's affecting almost 50% of people to this day. And in 1950, there's only about 10% of people. And in 1905, it was believed that it was less than 1% of people had cancer. So we're seeing this massive increase in cancer. And a lot of it, from my research, is diet and lifestyle. It's processed foods, ultra-processed foods. It's lack of nutrition. It's toxins in the water, in the air, in your food. And we need a primarily organic, whole food, plant-based diet. You're going to remove most of that stuff out of your body. And you filter your water, filter your air. You're removing most of those toxins out of your home. And so these are things that are going to help your body to heal itself. So yeah, I started a company called Plant Powered Athlete because I wanted to reach younger people who are athletic and help them adopt a healthier diet, help them adopt a more plant-based diet. They don't have to be 100% vegan, but just incorporating more real whole plant foods into your diet to empower your body to achieve its peak performance really at any age. But ideally in the process, you prevent a chronic disease later on as well.
But I assume you do not have to be a professional athlete to benefit from this diet, right?
Exactly.
I guess, a good quality plant-based diet will benefit anybody. You don't need actually to be an athlete at all, do you?
And that's what I discovered was, the people that I was interviewing that were 50, 60, 70, who had reversed stage 3, stage 4 cancer. And I asked what diet, and they were on primarily a whole food plant-based diet. These weren't athletes. Most of them weren't athletes. Elaine was an athlete, but many of them weren't. Ruth Heydrich actually was an athlete. She was diagnosed stage 3 or stage 4, I think, in aggressive breast cancer when she was in her 40s. She adopted a whole food plant-based diet, and she became the first vegan ever to complete the Kona Ironman triathlon, and since has won 900 medals. She's now almost 90 years old, by the way. She's been doing triathlons, marathons, endurance racing for, into her late 80s on a whole food plant-based diet for the past 40 plus years. And in the process, reversed her breast cancer by following that diet and lifestyle changes. And so whether someone's an athlete or not, what I see is that a whole food plant-based diet is going to support your body for longevity, for immune function, for energy, for gut health. But you got to know what you're doing. People go on a junk food vegan diet and they eat a lot of processed crap and they eat a lot of junk food and they eat a lot of packaged foods, and they're not eating enough, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, fresh berries. They're just eating all this pre-packaged processed crap with lots of sugar and lots of junk in it. And then they go, oh, the vegan diet didn't work for me. It made me unhealthy. I had gut issues. I had low energy. Well, yeah, because you were eating a junk food diet. Like, I don't care if you're omnivore or vegan, doesn't matter. If you're eating junk food in your diet, you're not going to feel good. And then we have people going, well, I switched to a carnivore diet and man, I feel better, and my eczema went away, and my energy improved. And then I go, every person that I've asked so far, what were you eating before? Oh, I was eating pretty healthy. Okay, let's look at a typical week diet. And boom, you break it down day by day by day. And every person I've talked to so far who thought they were eating pretty healthy were eating, in my estimation, a junk food diet. They're eating potato chips and frozen waffles and, processed prepackaged crap and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I had a banana every morning. Okay, one banana? Yeah, sometimes an apple. Okay, a banana and apple. How many vegetables do you have? Oh, I'd have some frozen broccoli at dinner. So you have one serving of vegetables and you had 2 servings of fruit and the rest was prepackaged ultra-processed crap, and that's healthy? And then you feel terrible. No wonder you feel terrible, and you have eczema and your gut's totally wrecked. And then you switch to a carnivore diet. Carnivore diet's an elimination diet. So of course you're going to feel better because you eliminated all that crap out of your body, Whereas someone on a whole plant-based diet who's been doing it for 40 or 50 years, who knows what they're doing, they feel amazing for 40 or 50 years. So carnivore people are saying, the plant-based is the same thing. It's elimination diet. That's why people feel better for a while. It's not true, because we have thousands of people that have been on a whole food plant-based diet for decades, and they still feel amazing at 80 and 90 years old as they did when they were 40 and 50 when they started.
So everybody wants that. So tell us exactly what's the name of the company and where people can get this diet. Is it prepackaged? Tell us more about it. How does it work?
Yeah, so Plant Powered Athlete, plantpoweredathlete.com. So we're primarily a supplement and clothing company, but our main focus is really educating people. So all our education is free. So on our YouTube and our social media, people can go and subscribe to our channels. We've got a 5-day plant-powered challenge people can download for free at our website. Like, our whole thing is educating and empowering people to achieve their peak performance at any age by adopting more of a plant-powered diet. And then we support with supplements. Our first supplement coming out is organic, super clean, high quality, adaptogenic protein powder. So we encourage people, eat as much whole, real foods as possible, but we also know that people on a plant-based diet can struggle with getting enough quality amino acids in their protein if they're not paying attention. And if you're an athlete, generally you need a little bit more protein as well. And so, yes, you can get all the protein you need on a whole food plant-based diet for sure if you know what you're doing. But at the same time, sometimes you need something quick, you need something fast, you're on the go, you're traveling, whatever, you just had a workout, you need some protein quick. You don't want to, you're not going to eat a big meal on your way back home. So, you have a scoop of protein powder, but you want it clean, you want it organic, you want it with adaptogens that are going to help your body recover faster, with some, sea salt to help replenish some of the electrolytes. So it's not 100 ingredients, it's a handful of small, very selected, evidence-backed ingredients to help improve performance and help get you the right amino acids in that profile. And so that's the supplements. That protein's coming out actually very soon. But again, all the education is free, and people can connect with us at plantpoweredathlete.com.
In a world where skincare often feels like a battleground for sensitive skin, Beljanskin emerges as a gentle oasis in the heart of nature's tranquility, but intertwined with the pinnacle of scientific research. It's introducing Beljanskin, a skincare line crafted with the utmost care and dedication for those with delicate skin needs. Discover the power of Onco Tea, a special blend of green teas discovered by Dr. Beljanski, renowned for its exceptional antioxidant properties, specially formulated to support healthy skin cell renewal. Onco Tea is our secret weapon to combating the visible signs of aging. Infused with the golden leaf extract of ginkgo biloba, rich in flavonoids, highly concentrated. Beljanskin not only fights free radicals, but also maintains skin integrity, ensuring your skin's health and radiance. Inspired by her father's legacy, Sylvie brings you the Beljanski know-how. Sourced from nature, perfected by science, a promise of natural, effective skincare for even the most sensitive skin. Crafted with care in France, Beljanskin redefines daily skincare. Free from harsh chemicals and filled with love, It ensures your skin is soothed, nourished, and beautifully healthy from head to toe. Discover the essence of beauty with Beljanskin. Sourced from nature. Perfected by science. Right at your fingertips. Visit MaisonBeljanski.com to transform your skincare routine today.
Thank you. And speaking of education, you are also very much involved in the board of the Beljanski Foundation. Can you tell us more about your role with this foundation and why you chose to get involved with that specific foundation?
Well, I got involved because of you, Sylvie. All because of you. You and you're committed. No, really. I mean, because of you. I mean, you put together such an amazing foundation with such a beautiful mission, and honoring your father and his work, and in the face of adversity and in a challenging, ecosystem where we need. And this is so interesting because when I found out about the Beljanski Foundation, how I found out about you guys was like I was asking that question for a long time. Like, we need more scientific research backing up the natural plants and natural solutions for cancer. We need that research, and we need it getting into the public. We need people to know. So how do we do that? How do we get more research done? How do we get more research into the hands of the public? And somehow, I don't even remember exactly how, but we got connected. And I got connected to the foundation. I saw the work that you'd been doing for the past 20 years. Learned about your father's story and what he went through. Learn about how much you've put into this foundation and the near, I think, 20 published research papers you've done in the last 20 years, which has been remarkable. Multiple plant extracts and their different, effectiveness against different kinds of cancer. And I just thought, this is a foundation, and this is a person and a group of people who are doing something really remarkable, and I'd love to be a part of it. And as you know, I actually reached out to you and said, hey, how can I help? How can I support? I want to be a part of this. And so after meetings,
And you helped a lot. You helped a lot because the Beljanski Foundation had this awesome events conference in Jacksonville in past September, and it was Jacksonville because of you, because you live there, and you were absolutely instrumental to make it happen. It would never have happened without you. So can you tell us about more about this conference and what happened and what is the future for the Beljanski Foundation since you are on the board?
So I'll tell you what people have told me about the conference. So we had our first annual conference, and it was what I heard from people was this was the best conference they'd been to in years. It was life-changing. It was uplifting. It was inspirational. They learned so much about cancer and about how to prevent and heal it using natural and integrative approaches. They said the vendors were amazing. They said the friendships they created were really powerful. They said the energy in the atmosphere was palpable. We made the experience something to remember. It's not just a bunch of boring lectures hour on end. It's meant to inspire, to uplift. There's live music. There was guided meditations, vendors with the cutting edge products and resources, connecting with the doctors and the experts, the cancer survivor stories, where people come to the experience and they leave with real solutions, with a real network, a support network, new friends, new colleagues, new information, and uplifted, right? Like the energy was so uplifting. And the idea for the conference was, let's make a conference that educates, empowers, inspires, and helps raise funds. It's a nonprofit conference to raise funds for continuing scientific research into natural solutions for cancer. In this case, a particular cancer research project for breast cancer stem cells. And we were able to raise all of the funding we needed for the next project. And so that project is underway, as you know, which is really exciting. Multiple people donated, and then this incredible couple came up to me during the conference. They go, I was just so moved by the story and by what you shared last night at the gala dinner and what this project is that you guys are doing through the foundation, that we want to we want to fund the remaining amount. And I think the remaining amount was like 180,000 or something like that. And they
Yeah.
wrote a check for the entire rest of the amount. And I broke into
Texas
tears. They broke
nice.
into tears. We were hugging. I was just like, oh my God, thank you, God. and and it was just so beautiful to see that level of generosity and commitment and contribution, because everybody's been affected by cancer. Either someone tuning in right now is dealing with cancer, or they have a loved one who is, or they work with patients who are, or they've watched their own family members die from cancer and or its treatments. And it's affecting everybody today in one way or another. And so the thing is there's something we can do about it. And that's why we're continuing this conference. We're planning the next conference right now for 2025.
Yeah.
It's going to be even bigger and better. It's going to have the same energy and inspiration, new speakers, new projects, and people can be a part of it.
And before we go to new projects, we will definitely report to the audience about how their money has been used for the breast cancer stem cells project, and we will report. And if there is a publication, we will share the publication. I think it is very important to let people know, public who are so generous with their money, their time, to let them know how we are using the funds. One of the things that really I don't like with many foundations is that they are very good at raising money, and then you never hear about what they do about that. And sometimes you learn that 70% of the money at least is used for management, and I really don't like that. And I'm very proud that the Beljanski Foundation is different, completely different with that regard. I mean, almost everything is going to the research, and we share the result of every research program and every publication every time. All this is available on the website of the foundation, beljanski.org. But that's really one of the things that I think sets us apart. And I'm very proud indeed of this program is underway on breast cancer stem cells. And I look very much forward reporting the results at the next conference.
Yeah, there's already been updates on the Facebook page, so people can go to Beljanski Foundation, join the Facebook page and join the group, and there's been updates there. There's updates on the website. I love that as well, that updates go out as, progress is made in the research. As you know, I volunteer on the board. This is my service work, this is my volunteer work, as many people in the foundation volunteer. And, we're really here to help people. I mean, that's the beauty of the foundation, and that's what help further scientific research into natural solutions for cancer and help get the information out to the public so people and their doctors can make educated decisions for their own health. I think that's what's important, is that people realize, and doctors and new doctors realize, that this research actually exists. Conventional doctors are still taught in many medical schools today that natural medicine doesn't work and there's no science behind it, which is total nonsense. Tens of thousands of peer-reviewed papers in every medical journal on the planet showing the effectiveness of hundreds of different kinds of natural medicines for every different disease on the planet. And so anybody who doesn't believe, their head is in the sand. And unfortunately, doctors are still being brainwashed in school today that this doesn't exist. And so that's one of the reasons we're here. And that's one of the reasons we're doing the next conference. So I hope people attend. We'll have all the details on the website. We'll have dates and location, speakers, all of that. You definitely want to be there. It is a party with a purpose. It's uplifting. It's meaningful. You get empowered. You connect with a lot of like-minded people. And you'll walk away with so much more resources and empowerment for helping your body either prevent cancer or help your body to fight off cancer.
IntegrativeCancerConference.com. That's a website, right?
IntegrativeCancerConference.com. Yep.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nathan. That was super valuable. And then when it comes down to integrative medicine, it sounds like really it's just like a holistic approach to everything that you're talking about. Like, whereas the oncologists, they basically focus on just the cancer itself, where you kind of go in and say integrative medicine is the way to kind of just target the holistic of everything, of diet, nutrition, seeing like what their environment is like, and basically making it where you're adapting everything to making it where it's all coming together to possibly prevent that cancer treatment. And you talked about like plant-based diets and things like that. So if, let's say if I was a person with, let's just say colon cancer, you mentioned colon cancer has a really crazy low reversal rate. What would you recommend for someone to me? Like what type of normal examples do you see of what you would recommend to a person that's trying to either reverse cancer or decrease the chances of cancer? Would like you mentioned plant-based diets. What other things would you recommend there? Just curious.
So two things there. One is if you have cancer, find a really good functional medicine practitioner to work with who specializes in cancer. Ideally, they're certified in functional medicine. They're a true integrative oncologist. Having that person in your corner can be instrumental. They can run tests that you need. They can connect you with other experts. I do coaching, but I only have a few clients at a time, and then we offer group coaching as well. We don't offer medical advice. We're not doctors in my specific team, but I have colleagues I work with in my think tank and mastermind group who are functional medicine doctors, who are integrative oncologists. I have a good doctor friend, Dr. Carlfeld, who Sylvie, Dr. Michael Carlfeld. He's a naturopathic oncologist in Idaho. He's got an incredible clinic. He's integrating the best of everything. I've got a good friend, Dr. Thomas Lodi, who's out of Thailand. He's got a clinic in Arizona. We have a lot of good doctors like this today. Dr. Lee Aaron Keneally, she's on our board of directors for the Holistic Leadership Council. She's in California. She has a great cancer center there. Again, these are doctors that are like, hey, if we got a little drug, that if you take this one drug, it's going to help knock that cancer down, but at the same time, boom, we're going to put you on a whole food plant-based diet. We're going to give you nutraceuticals. We're going to give you, the top dozen herbal supplements that show to enhance your immune system and help fight off cancer. We're also going to recommend that you sauna, 2 or 3 days a week, and we're going to detox heavy metals. We're going to make sure that you're exercising appropriately for you and your age and your capacity. We're going to clean up the toxins out of your home. We're going to help you deal with the stress and the chronic, traumas that you went through as a child, because those are inhibiting your immune system. We're going to look at this as a holistic approach, and you're going to take that drug versus a conventional doctor might be, take the drug and let's see what happens. Let's pray, let's hope, right? Versus a functional medicine doctor or a naturopathic oncologist, for example, is going to say, hey, we're going to do everything, and if that drug can help, we'll use that also. Elaine Gibson, I'll share her story again, because with stage 4 cancer, they found a drug that helped with a genetic issue that she had, and it didn't have a ton of symptoms associated with it. It was a fairly safe drug. And so she agreed to take that while doing everything else, organic green juice, like a gallon of green juice every single day, raw vegan diet, cleaner air, water, all these things that we talk about. And she took that drug and then boom, the cancer was gone. We have lots of case studies like that. So that's why I'm saying, having a good integrative and or functional medicine practitioner who knows what they're doing that could get you conventional therapy that's needed for your case without going overboard on it and going too far and wrecking your immune system and then really inhibiting your body's ability to fight off the cancer. Because chemotherapy kills cancer cells. Radiation kills cancer cells. It does not kill cancer stem cells. And this is proven in the literature. And why is that important? Is because you can get rid of the tumor. You can get rid of those tumor cells all you want. A tumor will go away. Hey, it's cancer free. But why does it come back with a vengeance? Because you didn't get to the stem cells. The stem cells are the self-replicating cells. They're like basically the mother cells that are going to produce more cancer cells. So chemotherapy and radiation don't get rid of the stem cells, the cancer stem cells. But there are therapies and there are plants and there are nutraceuticals, and this is research that we're publishing, that do target and eliminate cancer stem cells. So if you're going to do a therapy that gets rid of the tumor cells, then you want to be doing a therapy that's also getting rid of the cancer stem cells so that cancer can't come back. And that's, to answer your question, that's a truly integrative approach. And then number 2 is, find a really good integrative doctor who knows what they're doing, functional medicine doctor, and or get proper coaching along the way. And then for each person, it's different. Every cancer is slightly different. Every person's, diet and lifestyle is slightly different. In general, generally speaking, my approach is let's look at mind, body, spirit, environment, toxicity, relationships, mental, emotional health. Each one of those we're going to take a deep look at and see where we can make improvements because we want to improve every one of those areas. And now it's not going to be overnight in every area for every person, but if you're dealing with an advanced stage cancer, making some serious changes quickly might be a good thing. It also might be a challenging thing, and so we do it in stages. We don't put somebody who's never done sauna before, we don't put them in a 170, 180 degree sauna for 40 minutes. It's going to, potentially make them worse. We're going to build up 5 minutes at a time at a lower temperature. Over time, we're going to ease into some of these things. Sauna has been shown to be incredibly effective at helping enhance the immune system, detox heavy metals out of the body, heat shock proteins that contribute to a whole lot of beneficial physiological functions. Hormetic stressor, it's a hormetic stressor, helps produce more mitochondria. Healthy mitochondria means cancer cells can't thrive. So we want more healthy, robust mitochondria in our cells. So we're looking at therapies and foods and nutritions and different approaches that are going to help improve mitochondrial function and mitochondrial density in the cell.
That's great. Well, Nick, thank you, or Nathan, thank you so much. Like, you blew me so far away. You made me forget your name. That's how crazy it was. So, wow, thank you so much for all that information. Nathan, please tell the audience how to find you, how to find more information about your business and everything else like that.
Yeah, I think the best place, thank you for that. I think the best place is just nathancrane.com. They can actually download my book there for free. I just give it away for free. It's called Becoming Cancer Free. They can join my newsletter there and see everything that we're up to in that regard. And it's just my name, nathancrane.com.
Awesome. Well, Nathan, thank you so much for joining today. That's all we have time for. Thank you for informing everyone about what you're doing with the conference and then everything that you know about integrative medicine. I know that'll be super helpful for all the people out there that are trying to learn more about how to prevent cancer. And now we know what integrative medicine means and what that really means for you and how to really help and build it up. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for coming on, and thank you everyone for watching. This is the Beljanski Cancer Talk Show, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.